7 things a man will only do when he's really in love. Probably the most fulfilling and happiest times of your life will be when you are in a relationship with a person who is in love with you. However, you are haunted by the mistakes of your past. You have experienced many heartbreaking and disappointing relationships that you almost gave up on love. You said to yourself that you wouldn't allow investing another minute into a man's life unless you know that it is the real deal. Sometimes it is easy to distinguish whether or not he loves you, but most of the time men are not communicative enough in relationships. Men are not always forthcoming when it comes to their feelings for women. A lot of the time, you have to guess whether he likes you or not. A man has a tendency to run away as soon as it gets serious and as soon as he needs to declare his love for you. Let's break the truth and say that guys don't always know that they are in love. So it is up to you to notice the signals, or rather his actions, that speak louder than words. How do you know if he loves you? Is it his grand gestures that tell you that he does? Maybe it's that his eyes never lie? Or maybe he treats you like a queen every time you're around his family and friends? Those grand gestures can be faked by a great actor, don't get me wrong. However, when a man loves a girl, he will do certain little things. Of course, those little things mean much more than just ordinary ones. They convey the fact that he thinks about you constantly and that he cares about your feelings. I know that it drives you crazy that you don't sometimes know what he feels about you. Maybe he gives you distant vibes, or maybe mixed ones, where one day he is so into you, while the next, he shows 0 to no interest in you. He will do these things if he genuinely loves you. Before we go to the video, for more similar content, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any further videos. Number 1. He will pursue you. It is in a man's nature to hunt, and one of the surefire things that he will do if he loves you is that he will pursue you. If a man is truly in love with you and if he loves you, he will go all out for you, no matter whether he is shy, immature, or something else. If he loves you, he will find a way to show you, whether that's through texting or calling. He will put the effort in just to get to you, and he will stop for nobody. Some women miss the obvious sign and tend to pursue the man. Instead, it should be the other way around. I know that you have thought a lot about him loving you. Your thoughts only revolve around that. You don't think that you get the attention you deserve. Just wait. Stop and wait for a second, and then you can make your decision. A man who desperately wants the woman he loves will actively pursue her. That is one of the true things he will do if he loves you. It is the man's responsibility at the beginning of every relationship to call and text and plan dates. I know a few women who have done that, and all of them have since broken up. It is important to remember that those things are his job and his opportunity to be a real man. You need to allow him to do his job while you do yours. If you start to chase a man, just stop for a second and let him do it. Number 2. He will unexpectedly change his posture. And I really mean his posture. You probably never thought about this, have you? Would you believe me that every time you walk into a room, his posture changes and he frequently makes eye contact? If he straightens himself up every time you walk into a room, that is a subtle sign that he loves you. He will be more alert and look more lively because you are close to him. This is an unusual thing that men do without being aware of it. Nevertheless, it is a thing that he will only do if he truly loves you. Number 3. He will introduce you to his family. You know this is a big deal, right? When a man undoubtedly loves you, his desire to introduce you to his family will be his priority. Their acceptance is important to him, and you passing the family test is a requirement for something serious to happen between the two of you. However, if he loves you, he will make sure to tell you that it is no big deal. His family are nice and welcoming, and he wants you to feel relaxed and just be yourself. That is the most important thing. To be yourself and not pretend with anything, because sooner or later they will find out. Your feelings are important to him. He wants you to know that everything is going to be alright and that it will go well. You should not worry so much. He is actually rooting for you to get along with them, especially with his mom. If he does this, you can call it a win and say that you are already a part of his family, because you are, or at least you are in his head. A man who loves you will let you be a part of his inner circle. He will also introduce you to his friends. He wants to show them that you're a catch and that he is proud of you. Additionally, if he invites you to family holiday occasions, that is also a huge thing, because then you know he wants a serious and deeply meaningful relationship with you. Number 4. He will start verbalizing his feelings. One of the things that truly shows that he loves you is when he actually tells you that he does and that he's thinking of you, how he misses you, and can't wait to spend some time with you. Those are the actions that need to happen if he loves you, or else he isn't being real with you. Maybe he disappears for a couple of days, or is always in a hurry to get off the phone to you. And those are red flags that he doesn't love you. Men tend to communicate more through actions rather than words. If a guy likes spending time with you, time that he could dedicate to himself, believe me, he loves you. He wants to spend his free time with you, someone who brings him joy. If he texts you messages like "How are you?" or "What are you doing?" when he is at work, that is a great sign for you. He will seize every opportunity to show you that he loves you because he knows that not every day will be the same. Number 5. He will change. Trying to change a man is never a good idea. However, pointing out the things that he can work on is okay. A man will not want to change for a woman with whom he doesn't see a future, a woman who pressures him to change and to change his behavior. At the end of the day, he will resist and he will not change, and that doesn't get you anywhere. With the goal to impress you because he loves you, he will make minor changes on his own without you telling him. Maybe he will take notes of what you like and what inspires you and turns you on, and starts to implement them to make you happy. At first, he will try to hide this new side of his personality and wait for the perfect time to impress you. He will behave in a peculiar way because he thinks that you will want him more afterward, that your desire for him will be greater. Number 6, he will say sorry. Every relationship, even a fresh one, has its problems. Everyone knows that. However, a man who truly loves you will get over anything that might cause distress to the two of you. He will get over his anger or past issues that he had with his previous girlfriends just to show you that he loves you. Another thing to keep in mind is if he says sorry first. Men are not so articulate. To be honest, he wants to make amends before things get out of hand because he loves you. He doesn't want to jeopardize your love with silly or meaningless arguments. He will forgive and forget. There needs to be a trigger for him to finally confess his love for you during an argument. When push comes to shove and you want to leave the room, he will try to figure things out before you go storming out. Number 7. He will not be scared to show his true self. Guys are mostly scared to show their true selves in front of others. They don't want to be labeled as weak if they show their emotional side, which they do have. A guy who loves you and wants to show you that will be relaxed and comfortable around you. The thing is that he trusts you, which is a keystone of any relationship. Without trust, he cannot be comfortable in front of you and the relationship will lack stability. If you notice that he is different around his friends and family from how he is toward you, you should consider whether he is hiding something from you. Pay attention to what he tells you directly about himself and whether he is leaving out important details, as then it is not really love. Often, a man doesn't consciously even know how he truly feels about the woman he is dating. Instead, it is up to you to pick up on these things and to figure out whether he loves you or not. However, there are things that you can say and things that you can do which will trigger his response. These things I mentioned could help you distinguish whether or not he loves you.